weaknesses.
You know what I love about that clip? Is
What?
that he's talking to Kyler Murray, who just got in the league, but he's reminding him how great Julio is. He's the best I've ever seen, no weaknesses. And that reminds me of when I was a second-year player playing against Brett Favre in the playoffs, and Randy Moss literally grabbed me by my jersey and was like, get your up and let's go watch Brett Favre. And I'm like, what? Why? We're winning by 2 touchdowns. He said,
right.
This is Brett Favre. And I was just the ultimate reminder that Brett is the greatest.
Love seeing that. Larry giving Julio some recognition, but Julio will have his hands full this week in going head-to-head with the Rams' new cornerback in town, Jalen Ramsey. With more on this matchup, let's send it over to Tiffany Blackman.
On Sunday, we could have a potential matchup between two of the best players at their respective positions in Julio Jones and Jalen Ramsey. And with Rams head coach Sean McVay saying their intent is to play Ramsey on Sunday, well, Jones was asked about that after practice on Thursday. He called Ramsey a great player and said he has watched some tape on him, but that was when he was with the Jags. So how will his addition to the Rams affect Julio's preparation? Here's what he had to say.
My thing is just to be ready for anything. We don't know how they're going to play us. We don't know if he's going to match me or not and things like that. I haven't played him. So, but I haven't thought that far past that. It's just more so about, us just getting ready to go out there and just make plays and whatever they give us, we just got to take it and be successful.
One guy that has been making plays for the Falcons is tight end Austin Hooper. I spoke with him after practice, and he told me that with guys like Julio, Mohamed Sanu, and Calvin Ridley on the field, that he is getting favorable matchups, and he has been winning a lot of those one-on-one battles. He is currently tied for the 4th most catches in the league.
Appreciate you, Tiffany Blackman, giving us the update on all of that. Time to put the shades on.
All right.
Let's do it.
Brightest Stars presented by Oakley.
I'm going with DeAndre Hopkins. DeAndre Hopkins is going up against the Colts in 11 games. He has 850 yards and 3 TDs, which means he's going to put up yards. But the thing about DeAndre Hopkins this year that's different than years past, he's not getting in the end zone like he used to be. Yeah, he's having some moments where he's not as crisp when it comes to catching the rock. He's not as fluid when it comes to running routes. And I don't know if it's just the focus is on him more now than ever. I don't know if it's the combination of having Will Fuller healthy, so he's not getting as many opportunities. It kind of reminds me over the last couple years of the rap that Julio Jones would get, where he was going to put up a lot of yards, but he just didn't score a lot of touchdowns. So DeAndre Hopkins, 400 yards, only 2 TDs this year.
Yeah.
Have yourself a game. The last few weeks hasn't been great. Let's go out and have a $150 and 3 TDs. You know what? Stephon Diggs did it last week. It's time for DeAndre Hopkins, who we always talk about as one of the best receivers in the game. You got to shine bright, fam.
You know who the only 2 undefeated starting quarterbacks in the NFL are right now? Can you guys name them?
Garoppolo?
Yeah.
And Brady?
Brady. Garoppolo and Brady. They both were obviously in that Belichick system. Do you know who might be the best, most impressive quarterback of the NFL right now?
Where are you going, Pierre?
Jacoby Brissett.
Hey, now.
Who was 3rd string in that room. So you've got Brady, Garoppolo, and then you had Brissett, who in August had no intention of starting for the Colts. And here they are, 3-2. Coming off this, and there's what I look at. Are these the 3 kings, guys?
That's amazing.
That 3rd guy in, it is not some, hey, this is our friend, our buddy. No, this is a legitimate NFL starting quarterback. And Nate's talking about this Texans-Colts game. The AFC South is going to go down to the wire. Every game matters. And guess who's 3-0 versus the Texans over the course of his career? Jacoby Brissett. He won once with the Patriots as a starter versus the Texans on a Thursday night game that I'll never forget because, wow, Brissett, how'd he come from? And then he's won twice as a Colt over the Texans. I love Jacoby Brissett. I think he's a good player, a great kid for the league. I also think he's got to show that he can do it against these premier teams in a premier spot. This might be the biggest game of Jacoby Brissett's career.
Hey.
I'm going Brissett, my rock star, and I think the Colts get the win against the Texans this week.
I'll go with another quarterback. I'll flip over, or I'll stay in the AFC, actually. Lamar Jackson started off so hot, right? 5 touchdowns, looked great, taking the league by storm in year 2. He's coming off a couple bad games. Then he bounced back against the Bengals last week, setting some records. He's on pace for 1,200 yards on the ground. I think he's the brightest star this week because he has to be. He has to go into Seattle and take on a quarterback or a team that has a quarterback who's being discussed widely and largely as this league's MVP this year in Russell Wilson. He has to do all of that and show some consistency. I know we don't know what's going on with Patrick Mahomes. We will know around noon Eastern as he undergoes an MRI. But we can't make this so easy for the Patriots. Andrew Luck, you're talking Brissett. He's gone. Big Ben's not in the AFC. Mahomes is hurt right now. You can't just open the door and let hey, Brady, come on into the Super Bowl in the AFC Championship game. I need Lamar Jackson to step it up, keep it consistent starting this week against the Seahawks and make it interesting in the AFC.
Ravens-Seahawks is an awesome game, and I also look to the late window on Fox Sunday afternoon for Bears-Saints. Last year when the Bears defense was dominant, Khalil Mack was the headline, but I really think their best player was safety Eddie Jackson. Eddie Jackson needs to have a game against a backup quarterback, Teddy Bridgewater. Eddie Jackson does not have his first interception on the season yet. That's fine, but go get it. Eddie Jackson in the offseason said the goal for this year for the Bears defense was to top everything the 85 Bears defense did. Guys, I was pretty young for the 85 Bears. I don't really remember them going overseas and giving up 170 yards rushing to the Oakland Raiders and a rookie running back. Remind me if that happened, but I don't recall it. I know that season pretty well. That's fine. It happens. You're off the bye now. Control-Alt-Delete on the season. Eddie Jackson is the tone setter of the entire secondary, and Michael Thomas, I think, is the best receiver in football right now. Eddie Jackson, have a day.
Those are our brightest stars. That one is in Chicago. Will Selva's in Culver City on the West Coast with more. What's going on, Will? Take it away.
Hey, what's going on there, Kay? And guys, happy Friday to all of you. Well, America's spleen, as Kyle dubbed it, prevailed over America's team last Sunday. After this win, quarterback Sam Darnold became Neo in the Matrix. He's taking on all comers, including the undefeated Patriots. Darnold, of course, exploding for 338 yards and 2 touchdowns, his third career 300-yard game. He's only played the Pats once in his career. It was Week 17, 2018. It was an L. Still, the young signal caller isn't getting caught up in what New England has done thus far in 2019.
When you get locked in on trying to, break the dynasty or, tear them down, that's when you start losing control of yourself and losing control of your emotions during the game. For us, it's continuing to take it one game at a time and just focus on this game plan, what we need to do, the certain looks that we get, how we're going to adjust to those, and go about the game that way. Because if we get outside of ourselves and try to take down Tom Brady, take down Belichick, those are all legit things. But for us, it's really about just focusing on what we need to do and how we need to execute.
Well, Darnold sounds ready to face the Patriots, as does teammate linebacker C.J. Mosley. Mosley says unless he gets hurt, he's playing on Monday night. Now, the team has a more cautious point of view, as head coach Adam Gase called him day-to-day. Mosley was limited to just individual drills on Thursday, but has yet to take part in any work with the team since his injury. Now, earlier this week, the East Harlem Pride football team got a special behind-the-scenes tour of MetLife Stadium, where they also got a surprise visit from safety Jamal Adams. But the surprises did not end there. Oh, no. Adams, look at this. Every player hooking them up with new helmets and equipment as well. Adams, friend of the show, saved the best for last. Also surprising the kids with tickets and sideline passes for Monday night's game against the Patriots. Definitely an experience those kids will never forget. And also, we want to remind you, don't forget, tomorrow, NFL Network brings the history and tradition of Conference USA as Southern Miss faces Louisiana Tech in a West Division showdown, 3 p.m. Eastern, live right here on NFL Network. And we continue to roll right along here on Good Morning Football. Peter will now be known as Dr. Tradenstein. What does the future hold for this guy? The doctor is in, and he has your predictions.